Still a little more than 2 weeks to go in the Major League Baseball season, so it'll be a while till the Mets can spend a Friday night eating pizza. Still more baseball to be played and opportunities to be had for some young players to win some jobs. At Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the Miami Marlins. Friday night baseball is presented by Time Warner Cable. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez with you tonight as the Mets open a 4-game series against the Miami Marlins. The Mets just got swept in a 4-game series by the Washington Nationals, after which Terry Collins expressed his disappointment that some of his young players have not, as he said, grabbed the opportunity that's being presented to them to win some Major League jobs.
Well, I think Terry is always the motivator. I thought the biggest thing he said was not getting their dauber down. You can see that the team was dejected. They got beat up pretty badly in the 4 games against the Nationals. And it's his way of saying, look, no one's going to feel sorry for yourself. We've all been down this road. It's a tough game. It's a great privilege to be able to play this game. They're young players. They got beat up in 4 games. They were dejected. He just threw a little bit of zinger in there to get them motivated.
So how does a young player take the opportunity presented to him and turn it into something special?
Well, I think it was such a cause for concern with Terry that he decided instead of having a team meeting, he would individually meet with all of his young players to get them to make sure that they play these last 17 games as hard as they can.
On the mound tonight for the Mets is Jonathan Neese. Jonathan's been pitching very well, but he ran into one bad inning in Cleveland his last time.
The first inning, and after that he was a stellar. Went 6 innings in the game. You thought he might not make it out of the first inning. So looking to not have that tough start today against these Miami Marlins that the team has struggled against all season long.
So it's Neese on the mound for the Mets tonight as they open up a 4-game series over the weekend against the Marlins here at Citi Field. All the action coming your way tonight right here on SNY. Devices in the house than anyone else. Call 1-800-TW-CABLE. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy sports better. By Cholula Hot Sauce, the hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap, available in original flavor, chili lime, chili garlic, and chipotle. By Parts Authority Auto Parts Superstores, where the answer is always yes. By Astoria Federal Savings. And by Modell's. Visit Modell's.com and gear up. Get to Citi Field this Sunday afternoon. The first 25,000 fans attending the game against the Marlins will receive a Mets knit hat courtesy of Caesars. And after the game, kids 12 and under can run the bases, presented by Banana Boat. Get to Mets.com for tickets. Your Mets upcoming schedule, you can listen to all Mets games on Sports Radio 66 and Sports Radio 101.9 FM WFAN. Doubleheader tomorrow starting at 4 o'clock, single admission. Get two for the price of one. What could be better than that? Day game on Sunday, then the Giants are in for 3 next week. Mets go to Philly and Cincinnati on their final road trip of the year and return to face the Brewers for their final 4 games of the season here at Citi Field. John Neese making his way in, getting ready for his 21st start of the year, looking for his 7th win as the Mets open their series against the Marlins. First pitch coming right up. Marlins get set. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by LIU Brooklyn. You know you're good. Now find out how good. LIU Brooklyn. Find out how good you really are. Hyundai starting lineup for the Marlins tonight. Christian Yelich has done a nice job since coming up from the minors in July. Giancarlo Stanton just trying to stay healthy. The Marlins at 54-91 on the season, the lowest scoring team in Major League Baseball. And tonight they'll be going up against John Neese for the 3rd time this season.
Well, since coming off the disabled list, Jonathan is 3-1 with a 2.95 ERA, but he's pitched much better at home. His ERA at home is around 2.5. On the road, it's 5.5.
And Alexis Metropolitan defense, Mr. Lutz. Got another start at third base. I'm sure he's happy to be playing anywhere and getting in there and getting 4 at-bats. Good opportunity for him. Brown in the lineup again.
Justin Turner should be out about 7 to 10 days with a hamstring that he tweaked earlier this week. David Wright is getting closer and closer to coming back. He did some more lateral movement and some more charging of baseballs in the field. He's going to run full tilt on the bases tomorrow, which will be the next step in his attempt to return.
The toughest part is really getting him some quality pitching for his batting practice the other day. And I'm not saying this isn't quality, but Ricky Bonas, the bullpen coach, in fact, was pitching like he was still in a Milwaukee Brewers uniform.
Trying anyway.
He was. He did great.
It is a very inexperienced umpiring crew assigned to this series. Mike Everett is the crew chief, and he's got 3 very young umpires with him. Dan Bellino at first, Toby Basner at second, Trip Gibson at third. Basner and Gibson are minor league call-ups. So it's a full-fledged September game.
Yeah, right. On the field and on the as far as the umpires.
Danny Echeverria will lead things off for the Marlins. Echeverria, a very gifted fielder, has had a very tough year with the bat. Just a .266 on-base percentage. Asked to lead off tonight. Neese's first pitch is a fastball in for a strike, and we're underway. It'll be Echeverria, then Placido Polanco and Christian Yelich for the Marlins in the first. And a ground ball for Murphy. He slides to his right, and that's the first out of the night. So Echeverria retired one away.
Is that interesting to see? The first 2 pitches by Jonathan Niese were 85 and 86 miles an hour.
Well, John had a rough first inning in his last start. He gave up 5 runs before he could blink against the Indians. Could have been even worse. He had 1 out of the inning, got a line drive double play to get through that inning with only the 5 runs scoring. But then he settled in, allowed just 1 run the rest of the way. Here's Placido Polanco, the 37-year-old third baseman. Lifetime .297 hitter, hitting .250 this year.
And you know that game Jonathan had is only in the American League can you have that kind of game as a pitcher, because once you're behind, you're going to be hit for.
Christian Yelich on deck. And Polanco takes a fastball for a strike. There's 90 miles an hour from these. A little more like it.
Well, Polanco, just a shadow of the player he used to be. He was one of the smarter players in the league, and Father Time has kind of caught up with him.
Still smart.
Yes.
Fouls off the curveball when it's 0-2.
He was a very part of those Philadelphia Philly teams.
First came up with the Cardinals, played in the American League with the Tigers.
Still a very tough strikeout, only 28 strikeouts this year.
Won a Gold Glove at 2 different positions. He's had himself quite a career.
Yes.
And curveball bounces 1 and 2.
300 career hitter. You're in that area, right? 300 career hitter, 297.
297.
Nice.
I lost it the last 2 years. Shoot. Now I know how Mickey felt.
Or Al Kaline.
Yeah, that's right.
Al Kaline was a 300 hitter for almost all of his career till his last season. He dipped, I think, to 298.
Wow. And tell me, that doesn't sit good. I guarantee you.
Niese is just 2-5 last time against the Marlins, but he's faced them twice this year. Pitched well both times, got no decisions in each game. Marlins have had an uncanny knack for beating the Mets this year. 15 games, the Marlins have won 10, the Mets have won 5. And they have had some marathons in that stretch, including a 20-inning game here. And the curveball foul tipped and held by d'Arnaud. He says his first strikeout, 2 down.
No sooner than I say it's a tough strikeout, he strikes out. His 29th strikeout. Went after a backdoor curve. Not a strike.
You know what's nice to see, Keith, is that John's already thrown 3 curveballs. He sometimes doesn't throw a curveball till the 3rd inning.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now the 21-year-old rookie Christian Yelich, brought up just after the All-Star break. He's hitting at .290 with a .368 on-base percentage.
They like this kid, and he's only hitting .200 against left-handers. But they say he's been swinging the bat better of late against them.
A lot of curveballs early from Niese. 1-1 to Yelich.
Well, it's good to see. I think Jonathan, like Dylan G, if they use all their pitches early, it's much better for them.
That's the pitch I like, Ron. That Little heart sinker. He throws the left-hand hitter. This gets right under the bat. It's a difficult pitch.
Now the 1-2. He bangs one off his leg, a foul ball. It was 5 years ago today that John Neese got his first major league win. It was in the second game of the doubleheader against the Braves at Shea Stadium. Neese pitched 8 innings, allowed no runs, 6 hits in his second major league start. And now 5 years later, here he is. Handles the comebacker. Throws out Yelich. 1-2-3 opening inning for John Neese. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the first against Brad Hand with no score. Zach Lutz getting a rare start at third base. Andrew Brown into the cleanup spot against the left-hander. Lucas Duda getting a start against the lefty. Brad Hand, who gets his first start of this season.
Well, you can see those 17 starts in the minor league totals. He's lost his last 6 starts in the major leagues.
Eric Young leads things off. Amidst the morass that was the Mets' 4-game sweep at the hands of the Nationals yesterday, Young was on base 3 times. .338 on base percentage is a Met as he lofts one foul when it's 0-2. As Young continues to put in his bid to be the leadoff hitter next year. Juan Magaris on deck, Daniel Murphy behind him. Mets saw Hand a couple of years ago. He made 11 starts as a rookie in 2011. And the Mets saw him twice in that season. Made only 1 start for the Marlins last year, and now after 3 relief appearances getting his first start in 2013.
Straight over the top, little slider down and into the right-handers, change up away.
And he gets Young for the first out of the inning.
Just a little breaking ball, Keith.
Got under the bat. Little downward tilt. And the Coors Light Marlin defense. Stanton, of course, Giancarlo. Boy, oh boy, if he could just stay in the lineup. He is like a Ferrari or a Maserati. You got to keep him in the garage all the time. Keep him tuned up. Get him out there.
Boy, nice job by our graphics people with the small font for Echeverria, who handles this ground ball from Lagares and throws it out for the second out. You know, the Mets playing in the National League East get to see 2 young shortstops with incredible defensive skills. Andrelton Simmons, who may well win a Gold Glove this year in Atlanta, and Echeverria, who's not too far behind.
You know, he's been their Iron Man all year. He's played every day. Mike Redmond, the manager, said it doesn't seem like he's running out of gas, and he's the only one on the team probably is going to have over 500 at-bats.
Just like Daniel Murphy for the Mets. Murphy, the last man standing. 166 hits this year. That's tied for 4th in the National League, hitting at .281. And he fouls off Hand's fastball. Murphy had an RBI double in his first at bat yesterday. Andrew Brown hitting behind him. And a ground ball toward the hole. Cut off nicely by Polanco. Throws out Murphy. Side retired. 7-pitch inning for Brad Hand. John Neese heads back to the mound for the second. Mets and Marlins, no score. Well, we just mentioned it. John Neese 5 years ago today got his first major league win in his second start, a 5-0 victory over the Atlanta Braves. A lot of Brent Littlebridge in that highlight segment.
That's not a good thing for Brent.
Giancarlo Stanton leading off the second for Miami. Stanton 20 home runs, 50 RBIs, hitting at .253, which you'd have to count as a disappointing year for Stanton. He missed some time because of a hamstring injury. Justin Ruggiano on deck, then Ed Lucas in the second. And Stanton bangs one off his leg, 2-1.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see the series of the Mets pitchers against Stanton. In Miami, they jammed him the entire series, and if they didn't jam him, they walked him. Did not challenge him, which I think can be very smart.
And he drives one to deep left center. Forget it. That is way out of here. Stanton with a laser beam into the seats in left center for his 21st home run. Well, that's what happens when you don't jam them and you don't throw it out of the strike zone. And Neese gets burned for just the 9th home run he's given up this year. 1-0 Miami.
Boy, I tell you what, the opposition has been like on a driving range. Number 14.
Well, the Nationals hit 13 home runs in their 4-game sweep against the Mets, and Stanton picks up where they left off. And Ruggiano swings and misses at the curveball.
It's a fastball, I believe. Oh, Cutter didn't cut. What do you think, Ronnie?
Yeah, well, you're right. Cutter that didn't cut.
And it just stayed down in the inner half. And he got out his little 3-iron here. This was a rocket.
How many times the ball is hitting to the stands that's still going at that speed when it.
I mean, that was a bullet. He had a good 30 rows back that almost took a guy's hand off. Well, he's 23 years old. He's already hit 114 major league home runs, the most in the National League since he started. He's not having his best year, but he just showed you what he's capable of.
Well, a lot is put on his shoulders this season with the complete dismantling of the team. Called strike 3.
Virgiano's out for the first out of the inning.
And I think that Stanton was kind of pressing a little bit, trying to do too much. He's only hitting Gary in 67 at bats this year, which is not a lot, considering even with the time he's played. He's hitting 209 with runners in scoring position. You look at his numbers at 21 home runs and 51 RBIs.
Well, if you face him in an RBI situation,
yes,
you can't throw him a pitch to hit. Here's Ed Lucas, the 31-year-old rookie, taking outside.
So you have to say or think that the Marlins this winter have to go out and get themselves a bat to protect him.
Well, whether they're willing to spend money or not, I think is a very open question. There's certainly been a lot of conversation about whether the Marlins would go the other way and deal Stanton for a package of players.
Darno just got whacked on the top of the head by the follow through from Ed Lucas.
He's had a very rough week in terms of being hit by foul balls and by follow through.
So many hitters they let go with one hand. And it's never happened, hardly ever, when I played. But now a catcher has to have a helmet on. I mean, there's just no two ways about it.
That's right. You think about the days when Jerry Grody with just the hat turned backwards. Disastrous. Well, this is the time when you get hit in the head with a bat that Ray Ramirez, the trainer, will have a litany of questions that he'll ask Darno to make sure that he's clear.
There's been so much concern about catchers and concussions this year. There have been many catchers who've had to go on the disabled list because of it. Joe Mauer's season may be over because of a foul ball that hit him when the Mets were there for that makeup game a month ago. But Darno pronounced okay, and so he'll continue.
Did you hear Ed Lucas there? My bad. He said to Darno.
Too late.
Not that it makes it any better.
Too little too late. That's a song. Too little too late.
Would you like to sing for us?
No.
And he's really relying on his curveball early in this game. 2-2 to Lucas, the Dartmouth grad who toiled in the minor leagues for 10 years before getting a shot this season. Playing first base tonight. Strike 3 call. Neese finds the inside corner, so he has back-to-back strikeouts after the Stanton home run.
So it seems like Jonathan kind of, after giving up that home run on a hanger, now is really focused on the corners. 2 straight called third strikes.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now the second baseman Donovan Solano. Solano, who spent some time in the minor leagues this year, has done better since being called back. And takes a strike.
If I remember Solano this season, I'll remember that hit he got off Matt Harvey in Miami. Big base hit to right field for fouling off many pitches.
A little chilly, a little chill in the air, a little autumn.
It's a sign that the days of the season are waning. Breeze blown out of the northwest tonight.
A little wood in the fireplace, get a little fire going at night.
Well, just 2 days ago that it was 95 degrees here. So the weather has changed in a hurry. 1-2, curveball, bounce foul.
Let's see if he goes back to it, right? He had the curveball that he threw to Lucas for a strike, and then the fastball in.
One-two to Solano, and he pokes one on the ground. Murphy makes the play, side retired. But Giancarlo Stanton with a leadoff home run, his 21st home run of the year, that got out of the ballpark in about 1.3 seconds. Unofficial. That bolt gives the Marlins a 1-0 lead. Andrew Brown leads off the bottom of the second for New York against Brad Hand, who got the Mets out 1-2-3 in the first. Brown fouls off the fastball. Terry Collins was talking about players getting opportunities last night. This is one of the guys he was talking about. Brown has been given playing time coming down the stretch and taking playing time away from some other guys.
Ben Decker.
He hits this one to deep left field. Back goes Yelich to the track, looking up, and it's out of here into the second deck. Andrew Brown with a bomb to match Stanton's shot and tie the game at 1.
He one-upped him.
7 home runs for Andrew Brown. Well, what Stanton's had in velocity, Brown's had in loft and distance.
Well, he's a strong kid. And there's a fastball or change. Not sure.
It's a Kingman shot.
But right, this is the second tank.
Nobody's hit him that far since Yoenis Cespedes in the home run derby. Studa fouls one off. So I was just about to say Brown, a guy who has not taken advantage of the chance that's been given him, and now after Terry's comments yesterday, first at bat, he puts a wow into one.
Well, as I said, Terry's a great motivator. He doesn't coddle the players. That's what I like about him. He throws out challenges.
You know what I took from it? It was almost like because he was exasperated after 4-game sweep. Listen, I'm giving you at bats. It's time to reward me. Get some hits.
Duda half swings and misses, and that's the second strikeout for Brad Hand, 1 out in the inning. Well, the Mets had gone 42 innings without a home run since Justin Turner hit one Sunday in Cleveland. The Mets had given up 14 home runs, 13 to the Nationals and the 1 to Stanton, before Brown finally crafted a response.
Well, this whole run, there's only been a couple players that have more than one. That would be Turner and, of course, Brown.
Now Zach Lutz getting the start at third base tonight, takes the curveball for ball 1. Lutz 3 for 11 this year. He had a good year at Las Vegas. Hit .293, 13 homers, 80 runs driven in. And Hand falls behind him 2-0. .23-year-old Brad Hand from Chaska, Minnesota. We always say about pitchers from cold weather climates, sometimes it takes them a little longer, but often they have a lot more left in their arm.
Especially Minnesota. What do you get about 5 starts a season?
All 4, and so a 4-pitch walk to Lutz.
You know, his motion, if you watch it, it's kind of Iron Mike-like. There's not a lot of push off. Kind of just raises that front leg. When I think about it, although he doesn't raise his shoulder up, it's a little Ted Lilly-like if you watch Ted Lilly throw. Doesn't have a long follow-through, kind of finishes it quickly.
He's always had an issue with walks. His major league record, 5.7 walks per 9 innings. And even in the minors, he was averaging 4 walks per 9 every year. Here's Travis d'Arnaud making his 20th start tonight. Travis is 10 for 66 in the major leagues, and perhaps most puzzlingly, 1 for 16 against left-handers. Lutz at first and 1 out. And that's 5 in a row out of the strike zone from Hand. And d'Arnaud takes a fastball for a strike, 1-1. Ruben Tejada hitting 8th in the order, waiting on deck.
You can see why they like Hand. I mean, he doesn't push off. He doesn't use a lot of his legs, but he still has a great arm. Still can get it up there 92 miles an hour.
He's got to throw strikes. You can't walk 5 people per 9. It's not a recipe for success.
d'Arnaud hits one toward the hole. Echeverria with a beautiful backhand, and they get the out at second. Now that's what we were talking about with Echeverria. He can turn hits into outs, and he just did.
It's also a heck of a play by the second baseman Solano here. Snow cones this. Whoa, he just kind of adjusts his glove. Beautiful play by Echeverria. But an equally nice stab by Solano.
So 2 out. Darno now at first. And here is Tejada. Ruben's 3rd game since being brought back from Las Vegas. He's 0 for 6 so far, but 3 of those balls that were outs were hit hard, so he swung the bat pretty well with nothing to show for it. Now, during every Mets game, you can get interactive with SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, featuring pitch-by-pitch coverage, player cards, and in-depth stats. Check out SNY Game Day during every Mets game now on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports. It takes the curveball inside, 1-1. Ruben went to the minor leagues hitting .209. He's now at .202. It's a precarious spot for any player late in the season.
Well, Terry Collins was asked about it. He said, listen, do I want Ruben's average to go up? Of course I do, but I'm looking at the quality of his at-bats, not his batting average.
A good cut at that, 1-2.
He just tends to get a little long with his swing, and sometimes it just looks like the bat swings him. He just really needs to. He hit 2 home runs in Las Vegas, and that's light air. So he's a singles, doubles hitter, and Ruben's really got to focus on being a short stroker. He could be much like a player like Bud Harrelson was, the same type of player.
I was thinking that if you were going to look at any player's tape, he's on the field. Polanco.
Right.
That's the kind of cut he's got to have.
Two and 2 to Tejada with the pitcher Nice on deck. And Ruben bounces one to third. Easy hop for Polanco, and they get the force to end the inning. But the Mets get even. Andrew Brown hits one up in the second deck in left field. An impressive blow for Andrew Brown, 7th home run of the year. And the Mets and Marlins trading home runs, tied at 1 after 2. Game from Giancarlo Stanton and Andrew Brown. The Mets and Marlins tied 1-1 as we go to the third.
What is this?
What season is it?
Ghoulish.
Is it? It's not Halloween yet, is it?
It's a little early. Really pushing the season, wouldn't you say? It is Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's it. It's
There we
got to
go.
be. It's
Okay.
got to be.
All right.
Be careful driving home. Look out for zombies.
Coy Hill, the veteran catcher, leads off for the Marlins in the third and takes a strike. Pitcher Hand is on deck, and then Echeverria for the Marlins in the third. Marlins catcher Jeff Mathis is on the shelf right now with a thumb injury. Rob Brantley is the left-hand batting catcher. They won't play him against Nice, and so he'll get in the start. Now with his fourth major league team, first drafted by the Dodgers back in the 2000 draft. And Nice falls behind him 3-1.
A little breezy out there for the first time in a while.
Well, it's cool, but not the cold that Nice had to pitch in early in the season in Minnesota and Colorado that might have affected his shoulder.
Not even remotely close.
Twisted but True Fact brought to you by Twisted Tea, the hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea.
It's fun.
11 Jasons in team history.
That's great.
For the Mets, who are 22 and 26 on Friday the 13th. The Mets are Jason less in 2013. They're still paying him, but they don't have one. Brad Hand 2 for 18 in his major league career. And Nice throws a strike, 1-1. We were talking before about hitters with career batting averages just below 300. Got a list of career 299 hitters. Pretty good names. Carl Furillo, wow, lifetime 299. Rico Cardi,
Yes.
lifetime 299. Darnell will go out and get it and throws out Hand for the second out. Kenny Lofton, lifetime 299. Dante Bichette, lifetime 299, and Bake McBride.
Bake could hit. Think of all those at bats, and the good ones, they keep them at a minimum, but you're only human. You just gave away. Hot day, 10-0 game, and you just, you can always. Pete Rose always said those are the times you got to grind it out and get the base hit. You got to be greedy.
Did you ever calculate how many more hits you needed to be career 300?
No, I didn't. 297 was my final.
Echeverria fouls back a first pitch cutter.
I was 303 into my last 2 years of the season, and I got the broken kneecap and the collision with the 157-pound Dave Anderson at second base.
157 pounds.
And that was the downhill from that time.
And then there was Cleveland.
And then with Cleveland, I was done. But I was just starting to get hot when I got hurt, and it was 88 or 89. Just starting to get hot. I had 2 hits in the game, I believe, and a little field mouse put a dent in my knee.
I always call those years the phrase ruining your baseball card. That's all you're doing.
Remember, I continued playing, and I got in the on-deck circle, Gary. I played 3 innings in the field, or 2, and it didn't bother me. Then I got in the on-deck circle, and I remember I went to get up. I couldn't get up, and I looked behind me. I said, and Mel was right there. I said, Mel, I can't get up. So they came out and got me, and off I went.
MASH unit.
They did not take x-rays of my knee. They sent me home. Fitz Warren was there, Dr. Fitz Warren. And he was always cautious. He sent me home, gave me some pain pills. I woke up at 3 in the morning. My knee was throbbing. I called an ambulance, and I got rushed to Roosevelt. And Dr. Parks came in at 5 in the morning. And then they, you got a broken patella. Oh, great.
By the way, there's been a scoring change. Your lifetime batting average, 296.
Oh, okay.
That's not very nice. A mere bag of shells. You could have kept that.
I mean,
to
they
yourself.
found Hack Wilson one more RBI. They found him one less batting point. That's not fair.
Not very nice.
1-2 to Echeverria, grounded to Murphy. And so Nice has himself a 1-2-3 inning on 3 ground balls. That sends us to the bottom of the third. Mets and Marlins tied at 1. Tied at 1. Brad Hand pitched a 1-2-3 first inning, then got rudely greeted by Andrew Brown leading off in the second. John Nice will start the third. Nice has been the Mets' best hitting pitcher this year. 7 hits, a .226 batting average.
It's 4 ribbies. Jonathan, when he first started, we showed that first start against Atlanta. He was not that good of a hitter. He's made himself into a better hitter.
It'll be Nice, then Eric Young, and Juan Lagares for the Mets in the home third.
Remember before that first start, we were doing all the backup check. Defiance, Ohio. He was born on the day the Mets won the World Series. All-state soccer.
I just remember his first start, which was in Milwaukee, and he was really nervous. Sat in the corner with the hoodie over his head before the game. Ricky Weeks took him deep, if I recall correctly.
Right.
But that second start, he was brilliant. There's strike 3. He's thought he might have worked out a walk, but instead Hand has his third strikeout. So 1 out and nobody on. Kevin Burkhardt is on assignment this weekend. Let's go to Andy Martino, whose report will help you enjoy tonight's game better, brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Andy?
Guys, Eric Young Jr. gives the Mets a look at the top of the order that they really haven't had since Jose Reyes is here. He may not be the player that Reyes is, but he gives them that exciting speed. I had the chance to check in with him today on what that base stealing strategy is. It's not something that just happens. Young puts a lot of work into this. Before games, he watches video of the starting pitcher and some of the key relievers. He's looking for a tell. When is this guy going to throw the ball to the batter when I'm on first or second base? Maybe it's a step. Maybe it's when he lifts his leg. Maybe it's, and this is the interesting one to me, he takes a deep breath, which shows he's ready to throw that pitch. This base stealing thing is not just something that happens willy-nilly. Young puts a lot of work into it, takes it seriously, and that's obviously paid off for the Mets in the few months that he's been here, guys.
Well, he has more stolen bases since the All-Star break than any player in the major leagues.
Well, Lou Brock, I've had the great fortune of playing with Lou, was at one point the all-time base stealer.
Out to right and Stanton.
puts it away.
Lou always kept a stopwatch and timed every pitcher and kept a book on their times home run.
And he changed the game because the first base coach does that now.
And in Eric Young's case, I would think it has to help that you have a dad who was an elite base stealer in the big leagues, just to be able to impart that kind of wisdom about what to be looking for.
Wisdom and DNA.
That too. Well, Lagares takes a fastball strike. Lagares grounded out to short his first time up. Daniel Murphy on deck.
What's interesting for me for Young is if he can catch up just a little bit. He's 3 behind, I think, Segura for Milwaukee. Milwaukee's in here the last 4 games of the season. Might be able to win himself a title.
Showdown.
Why not?
Those things get dicey, you know, because one of the things that Eric has done very well is, for the most part, he has stolen within the context of the game. He hasn't stolen pad his stats. And throws out Lagares. 1-2-3 inning for the Marlins left-hander. We go to the 4th, tied at 1. At Citi Field through the eyes of players and grounds crew, plus go behind the scenes during a Mets pregame warm-up with Josh Satin mic'd up on Mets Insider, presented by WB Mason, Sunday at 4:30, only on SNY. Placido Polanco leading off in the 4th inning. And he hits one sharply. Murphy with a nice backhand grab. And he throws him out. Pretty play by Murphy to get Polanco.
4th chance for Murphy in this early in this game. Beautiful backhand. Nicely done. Not an easy play.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Christian Yelich, who hit a comebacker to Nice his first time up.
This kid looks like he's just out of high school. Little baby.
Well, we saw him a lot this spring, and he was as impressive a player as we saw in Florida.
I thought he and Matt Adams were the best hitters in spring.
First round pick in 2010 out of high school. And he might have been here a little sooner, but he had some nagging injuries early in the season. He had the plantar fasciitis. He had a groin injury. But he's been a fixture in the Marlins lineup now for a month and a half, and so far very impressive. Now the other young outfielder they called up pretty much the same time, Jake Marisnick has struggled mightily to the point where Marisnick, who's a right-hand batter, isn't even starting against the lefty tonight. Duda handles the ground ball. Neese late to cover, and he just gets there in time. Well, Duda had no choice but to wait for Neese, and Neese just got there ahead of Yelich.
I think Jonathan thought that Lucas was going to be able to take it on his own. He never want to assume. Let's see. He had to go to the whip here to get there. Oh, that was close.
I thought when I saw it, he got in there before him.
Nope.
We got him.
Barely.
Good call. That's a tough call by the umpire.
Dan Molino, the first base umpire. Well, that's 8 in a row retired by Neese since Giancarlo Stanton's last at bat, when Stanton hit a laser beam deep into the seats in left center for his 21st home run of the year. You can't hit a ball harder than this.
Well, a cutter that didn't cut, and Mr. Stanton obliged.
Backdoor curveball for a strike. 1-2.
Like Stanton, he doesn't get out of that box. Just stays right in there.
That's what you're supposed to do, right? The home run for Stanton was his first against the Mets this season in 31 at-bats. Only his 5th hit in those 31 at-bats. As Ronnie mentioned, the Mets had done a great job against him earlier this year. He missed a couple of series against the Mets because of the hamstring injury.
Got him again.
He strikes out on the curveball in the dirt. Darno slaps the tag on. 4th strikeout for Neese. 9 in a row retired by John. We go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 1. Is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. Daniel Murphy leads off the home 4th inning against Brad Hand. Murphy grounded out to third base his first time up. Andrew Brown on deck, then Lucas Duda. Each team has had only 1 hit. Each hit, very impressive one. Speaking of hits, there are your Time Warner Cable National League hit leaders. And Daniel Murphy tied for 4th going into the night.
And Matt Carpenter, boy, what a find for the Cardinals.
It's the best breaking ball of the night for Hand.
Yeah, he's got a big sweeper, doesn't he? Nice, good velocity on that one.
Brett Hand made 15 starts in AAA this year, 3-5 with a 3.42 ERA. Murphy floats one in the shallow left. On comes Yelich, and he can't make the diving catch. Murphy takes a turn and holds it first with a leadoff single. Ball gets loose briefly on the infield, but backed up by Lucas.
Well, you live on the outside corner and you keep going out there. Don't even show no one inside, and this is what will happen to you. It's not a bad pitch. It's a very good pitch, but never came inside once to Murph. And that's just a little, that's a slap here, all right? That's a slap.
A serve, a flick.
It's a slap to left.
A dork. Let's go to the thesaurus.
Right.
Where is Kevin going working this week?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
It's the unofficial voice of the Bucks. Andrew Brown takes a big cut after this big cut in the second inning.
Boy, oh boy, did he crush this one. This one went into the second tank.
Seven home runs for Brown and 124 at bats this year. And he bats here with a runner aboard. Mets with their second hit on Murphy's single. And he punches one to the right side, and Lucas is there to grab it. That's the first out. Does that work for you? Punch?
That's called getting jammed, and it happens. Nothing to be ashamed of. Pitchers are going to get in there once in a while. They know where those pots are. You got to keep the Brillo pad, got to keep them clean. That's all. Keep those pitchers out. They bring germs in the kitchen.
Keep the Purell handy.
Yes, I got some.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now Lucas Duda, who struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Murphy at first and 1 away.
Murph been kind of stuck on 18 stolen bags. I know he'd like to steal 20. He's got plenty of time to do it.
Never done that before.
Caught only 3 times. He's been outstanding.
Duda just 2 hits in his last 23 at bats. And he pops this one up into shallow right center. Who's going to get it? Stanton calling, and stays with it for the second out. The wind is howling in from the northwest.
As it usually does this time of year.
So at the top of the stadium, that flag is blowing from the left field corner in toward first base. But as is generally the case in these climbs, you never know exactly where the wind currents are. Here's Zach Lutz. We talked about it when they first opened the stadium. Because of the spaces between the scoreboard and the stands at left center and right center, the ball can do some crazy tricks once it gets up in the wind.
Now, this kind of cool weather here when you're an everyday player, and even if you're a starting pitcher, boy, it just gives you a shot in the arm. Just get out of that August and July heat and humidity and just rejuvenates you.
Lutz pops it up. Long run for Stanton. Solano over, foul ground, and he can't make the catch. It's a foul ball. Well, Solano got there, but unable to make the connection, and Lutz gets a life.
Well, he got worried about the wall here. He ran a long way. He got all this wind, and he's there. He just missed it, and he wasn't afraid of the wall. He wasn't looking at the wall, so he's not happy with himself.
They have charged an error to Solano. For prolonging the time at bat.
That's a tough error. He went a long way to just get to that ball.
So Lutz with a new life. Lutz threw a 4-pitch walk his first time up.
See the Yankees and Red Sox, they're into one of their going into one of the 4-hour game tonight that they usually play. They're just in the top of the third.
Red Sox got 4 off Corode on the first, and Brendan Ryan just did a home run for the Yankees. They have had such uncanny success picking up players off the scrap heaps who have performed for them. It's been amazing. If I recall correctly, Brendan Ryan, when he came up with the Cardinals, used to kill the Mets. He wouldn't hit home runs against anybody except the Mets.
He did.
In addition to playing spectacular defense. And really slowing down his pace here. 2-2 to Lutz. And he comes inside with the fastball, 3-2.
You know what's curious? I just kind of realized that if you look at, we just had the shot of d'Arnaud in the on-deck circle. A lot of the players today, they take their swings, they stand up. I used to get down on one knee, I'd do my warm-ups, get loose, and then just get down on one knee and watch.
Lutz hits it out to right, chasing Stanton back, but he'll have plenty of room. And that retires the side. A leadoff hit for Murphy. We go to the 5th now at Citi Field. Mets and Marlins still even. Of solo home runs from Giancarlo Stanton and Andrew Brown in the second inning. That's all that John Neese and Brad Hand, the two starting left-handers, have given up tonight. Justin Ruggiano will lead off for the Marlins. Never surprising when the Marlins are held to a low score, in that they're the lowest scoring team in the major leagues. But check this out. Against the Mets this year, the Marlins run differential is plus 20. Well, they're 10-5 against the Mets.
All right.
So they've scored 72, given up 52. They're plus 20 against the Mets. Against everybody else, the Marlins are minus 140 runs.
Wow. Oh, boy.
540 to 400. So the Mets have caught the Marlins at the wrong time. 0-2 to Ruggiano. 10 wins against the Mets. 19% of their total wins. they're trying to avoid losing 100. They're at 91 losses right now with 17 games to play. So they're going to have to go 9-8 the rest of the way to avoid losing 100. And if you had, as Ruggiano hits the curveball out to center and Lagares is there, if you had said at the beginning of the season that the Marlins had a chance in the last 2 weeks not to lose 100, you would have said that would be surprising.
Yeah. Right.
Because everybody expected them to lose, if not 100, maybe 110.
They've got the foundation of some good young pitchers. They've got Stanton. They've got Yelich. They've got Ozuna, who we saw earlier in the season, right fielder.
They sent him down.
Well, he hurt his
thumb.
Right. He looked good. He reminded me a lot of Steve Henderson, the way he swung the bat aggressively. The old Met rookie that had the good. Was he rookie of the year or no? He was not.
He came over in the Seaver trade mid-season, 77. 1-1 Dad Lucas, who struck out his first time up. Yeah, the Marlins have some places where they need to look for answers. Is Logan Morrison the answer at first base? They seem to have their shortstop. I mean, I know Echeverria hasn't hit, but they think he will, and his defense is splendid. But they need to figure out second base, third base, catcher. They've got some holes, much as the Mets do. But like the Mets, they've got that foundation with a good young pitcher.
Well, they think, though, that Brantley, the young left-handed hitting catcher, they expected a lot more from him when he came over from the Tigers for Anibal Sanchez.
He looked good last year.
Yeah, he did.
Swinging the bat, not so much this year. 1-2 from Nice, and the curveball fouled at the plate. But, we were talking earlier about speculation that the Marlins might, instead of building around Stanton, seek to deal him, which in some ways makes some sense. Driven to left center, a base hit for Lucas. Over goes Young in the gap to cut it off. Lucas is going to try for 2. Young's throw coming in, and he's safe.
Beautiful.
A double for Ed Lucas, his 10th two-base hit, after Nice had retired 10 in a row.
Nice hustle out of the box here. Came in, almost got jammed, got the barrel through enough. Nice job of cutting it off by Young. Hasn't got the strongest arm, but he's sensed a double here. He never hesitated and just beat it.
So a runner in scoring position with 1 out, just the second hit for Miami, with Donovan Solano coming up. I was going to say, in some regards, if you're Miami and you're looking to build your club for the future, and you've got this good young pitching led by Jose Fernandez, and you've got young outfielders like Yelich and Ozuna and Marisnik. So if outfield is your strength, even though Stanton's one of the elite power hitters in the game, if you can get 4 or 5 players for him, wouldn't that make some degree of sense?
I definitely think it would, especially with the stat we showed earlier that this was his 100th game this year. He only played 123 last year. It's been a little bit brittle for such a power hitter.
Two and 1 to Solano, who grounded out his first time up. And Solano takes one down the right field side. That's a fair ball, bouncing against the sidewall. Lucas comes in with the lead run. Solano dives into second. Back-to-back doubles. The ball gets away. Solano trying for third. Now he thinks better of it and goes back to second. So Lucas and Solano with back-to-back doubles, and the Marlins go in front 2-1.
Well, that's a big play by Young, and we've seen it all year. Young backs up from the outfield corner position. That's a good sinker away. Didn't get it away, and you just saw Solano was set up outside going that way. Hits it right into the corner. And that's an easy score for Lucas. You can keep that in third gear. But Tejada just not even a good effort on trying to catch that ball.
Could almost get down and block it, don't you?
I mean, if Young's not backing up, Solano goes to third, and that's an error on Tejada, and a sacrifice fly makes it a 2-run ball game.
Coy Hill, the catcher, grounds one through the hole, a base hit. Solano to third. He's being held up by Joe Espada. And Young hits the cutoff man, so 3 straight hits against Nice. And the Marlins have first and third and 1 out.
Well, very interesting, very similar to the game against Cleveland, where they come in bunches against Jonathan Nice. I think this is a good job by Joe Espada. Young doesn't have the strongest arm, but he was barely at third base when Young picked this up.
Do you take into consideration, if you're the third base coach, that you got the pitcher coming up?
Yeah, but it's still you do. But he was out. He was dead to rights. He would have been out by a mile. You could squeeze. You got a lot of things you can do, and they're going to sacrifice. How about that?
Well, this is that play where you get the bunt down, and if Lutz comes in and fields it, then the runner Solano will follow and try to score.
Correct.
Of course, if you're smart as a third baseman, you can anticipate that, fake a throw, and maybe make a play on that runner.
Oh boy.
East will handle, has an out at second. The relay by Tejada is in time for the double play. So the Marlins bunt into a 1-6-4 double play, and they settle for just the 1 run in the 5th inning. He's handling it quickly. Tejada with a nice turn, and Murphy with the cover. TV, the ultimate blog network featuring a continuous flow of sports news straight from the best New York sports blogs. SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports. Here's today's AT&T trivia question. Which player holds the Marlins record for the most RBIs in a season? Had some pretty good players on that Marlins team. They won a couple of World Series in 1997 and 2003.
Could he be here in a bow tie today? Could that be the?
No? I don't think so.
He had his big years in Colorado, didn't he?
I think I know who it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, it's not Stump Gary Day, so you're fine.
No. Thank goodness. Travis d'Arnaud leads off in the home 5th inning. d'Arnaud hit a ground ball in the hole at short, and Echeverria made a fine play to get a force. Brad Hand has given up just 2 hits over the first 4 innings, and now he has himself a 2-1 lead. Last time he had the lead, he gave up a leadoff home run to Andrew Brown that tied the game. By the way, you asked about Steve Henderson and Rookie of the Year. Came up in '77. Finished second in the ballot.
I thought so. I knew he was in the running. He had a good year.
Finished second to a pretty good player, a future Hall of Famer in Andre Dawson.
Yes. I remember when Andre came up, always took that vicious hack. But when he was younger, you can really throw that breaking ball down and away out the strike zone, and he'd chase after it. Which he did a lot in his career. He was some kind of player.
Carpet got him, right?
Yeah, it did. Got his knees.
d'Arnaud drives one to right. Stanton is there. One out. So 1 out and nobody on. Ruben Tejada coming up. Let's check in with Andy Martino. Andy?
Guys, I tried to dig a little bit deeper into this idea that we've heard from Terry Collins lately. The young guys aren't necessarily seizing this opportunity in some cases. But what exactly does that mean? They're inexperienced. We have low expectations for some of these guys this month. So what is the coaching staff looking for? What I heard in talking to Collins and some of the coaches was they're looking for adjustments both during the at-bat and in-game from one at-bat to another. And with some guys, they're just not seeing different approaches no matter what the pitchers are trying to do during that game. Two guys who were mentioned as exceptions who have impressed the coaching staff are Juan Lagares and Josh Satin. But otherwise, guys, still bringing that kind of AAA approach into the major leagues where the guys have a lot better stuff, guys.
Of course, in Lagares' case, he's been here since April, so that's a little different story than for a guy like, say, d'Arnaud or Dan Decker or guys who have been here for a few weeks. And I think we saw with Lagares the evolution from the free swinger that he was when he first got here to what he's evolved into now.
A little more contained. Blow up and over his head.
There's a fine line, though, isn't there, Keith?
There is, and I think with 2 strikes, it becomes too defensive in nature. I don't like the 2-strike approach.
Big rip by Tejada. It's 2-2. Ruben hit a ground ball to third his first time up. It's this one to center field and right at Ruggiano for the second out. So 2 out and nobody on. Now John Neese, who took a call third strike his first time. Big doings in Pittsburgh, where the Pirates fell behind the Cubs 3-0. But on the bottom of the fourth, Pedro Alvarez, Russell Martin, and Garrett Jones have all homered against Jake Arrieta to tie the game.
Wow. In a row?
Can't answer that question, but I will try to ascertain for you.
Garrett Jones in the lineup. Marlon Byrd having the day off.
That's why Hurdle's going to win Manager of the Year.
every button he pushes, right?
They have had a magical season so far. But, let's not overlook the fact they've got a good team.
Yeah.
And yes, the answer is yes. They did hit them back to back to back with 2 out to tie the game. And now Clint Barmas is up, trying to make it 4 in a row. Your standings in the National League Central. Pirates beat the Cubs yesterday behind Jeff Locke, a resurgent performance by him to get even with the Cardinals in that NL Central. St. Louis is playing Seattle tonight.
And what a brilliant move that was. Locke was struggling after the All-Star break. They just sent him down to catch his breath. He's come back up, and he had one of his better performances of the season.
Yep. 7 innings, 3 hits yesterday. Barmas struck out, so they didn't hit 4 in a row. 2-2 now to Neese.
Of those 3 teams, the Cardinals have the easiest of the schedule. They have the Mariners, as Gary said. They have Colorado, the Brewers, the Nats, and the Cubs.
Line to short hop by Echeverria. Still has plenty of time, and the low throw handled by Lucas to retire the side. So the Mets are on 1-2-3, 5 in the books now at Citi Field, 2-1 Marlins. Some of the Friday night crowd gathered.
God bless those Met fans. These are the diehards.
They're orange and blue on.
Fans are true to the orange and blue.
Did you make that up, or has that always been like a saying about?
That's part of the second verse of Meet the Mets.
Oh man, I don't even know the first verse, but okay. All right.
Third time around the batting order for John Neese. So Danny Echeverria leads off and drills one down the left field line. Foul. So Echeverria was ready for that first pitch off speed pitch. Neese gave up a home run to Stanton in the second. Back-to-back doubles to Lucas and Solano for a run in the fifth. And right now that's enough to have him behind in this game. Echeverria lifts one to right center. And Andrew Brown is there. One out. Let's check in with the studio for this game break. Kareth Burke is standing by. Game break brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealer. How about Ryan Zimmerman?
Red hot.
13 days of September, 9 home runs.
That's in just 11 games.
No.
I mean, it's crazy. Wilson Ramos also is homered tonight, so they're continuing the barrage that they started here at Citi Field. Ramos homered yesterday. He had 2 in that series.
Yeah. The thing that's not so great for Washington as they make their run is that Cincinnati's playing Milwaukee.
Well, the Brewers just got 2 in the bottom of the first.
Okay.
Off Matt Latos. That's huge.
It's huge.
So you never know. I mean, Washington a few days ago, they were 8 games out. Now it's 5.5.
See, the problem is that once you get it around that 4 or 3, then the other team starts feeling it. That's ahead of you.
Let's remember that.
Yeah.
2007. Fouled off by Polanco, 2-2. What was it Jason Worth said? He said, I know it can be done. I've done it.
Well, he had some help. No, but I know what you're saying.
He's been there.
Yes. Darno with another foul ball off the shoulder.
He's going to be ready for a nice long bath when the season's over. Swinging a foul tip held by Darno. Polanco was struck out for the second time today. How often do you see that?
Really?
Curveball in the dirt. He swung 2 bad pitches, all breaking balls. The first time, if you recall, his first at bat, a bad curveball out of the strike zone away, and this one down in the dirt.
5 strikeouts now for Neese. 2 out of the 6. Now Christian Yelich, who's been up twice and grounded out both times. And thinking about a bunt. With Lutz playing back at third. I would have to say that tonight John Neese has thrown a higher percentage of curveballs than any game we've seen this year.
Yeah, by far. It's almost like he's had the plan that coming into this game after that 5-run first he gave up against Cleveland, he was going to throw all his pitches right from the start.
Funny thing is, when he first arrived in the big leagues, it was that curveball that got him here. And that was his signature pitch, and he's changed. He's evolved over the last 5 years. As his cutter has gotten better, as he's developed his changeup.
What was John smiling about there? Did he get his there a cross up? Did you see that? You very rarely see John smile when he's pitching.
Rare time is behind in the count tonight, and Yelich takes a strike, 3-2. And he got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Neese. He's got 6 on the night. Now the Mets need to get him some offense as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mets will have the top of the batting order coming up. Down 2-1 to the Marlins. Picks 11 starting at 4 o'clock, and then immediately following, switch it over to SNY for game number 2. It's going to be a straight doubleheader. So about 25 minutes between games, and we'll have both for you. First on Picks, second on SNY. Is that straight?
Go get them, boys.
Oh, you're not going to be here? Oh, come on.
I'm already getting myself ready. I'm getting myself psyched up for it.
Eric Young fouls off the bunt attempt, and it's 0-2. Now, wait a second. There are 3 of us here for 1 game, but tomorrow there are 2 games, and there are only 2 of us here?
I'm at my limit. I'm at my limit for the season, so I think I cannot go over the limit. That's how it goes. Budgetary issues.
Wow.
Hey, I like the regular doubleheaders. Go ahead, Gary.
Oh, those are the city probables for tomorrow. Dice game out. Suzaka goes against Henderson Alvarez in game 1. Carlos Torres against Jacob Turner in game 2. Then Sunday, only 1 game Sunday. How many people we have for that game?
I got that one.
But you're not here.
I'll be basking.
I'm very confused. Young drives one to the left center for a base hit. Turns on the Jets around first, and he's going to try for 2. A leadoff double for Eric Young, his 23rd double of the year. And the Mets have the tying run in scoring position with nobody out.
Young always hustling. Gets a hanging curveball down the middle, covers it nicely, stays back. And as always, running hard. Easily gets the double. Nice hustle. He cuts, nice cut, and that nice turn there.
I like when he slides head first. He kind of like heaves himself at the base.
Remember Pete Rose used to almost look like belly flops.
Right.
So now Lagares, third baseman Polanco cheating in a little bit. Shortstop Echeverria holding the runner, so a big hole on the left side for Lagares, who takes a strike. Lagares is grounded to short and hit a comebacker, 0 for 2. And Hand misses inside, a ball and a strike.
Did you also, interesting, Gary, in the article, I know it's a complete change of subject, and I'll, but Terry's comments in the paper in trying to get these kids, inspire these kids, he said it wasn't a lack of work.
Right.
He said they're taking 200 swings a day. I'm going, what? Are they nuts? Why would you want to take 200 swings a day?
Well, he might have been exaggerating, but his implication was that maybe they're working a little too hard and maybe not as efficiently as they should.
Yeah.
As he said, you need to save some for the game.
You take too many swings. You get in bad habits when your arms get tired. Just ridiculous.
And ahead on Lagares, 1-2. And he goes down swinging on a changeup. Fourth strikeout for Hand, 1 out of the inning.
What was interesting about this at bat, guys, is that the best pitch that Juan had to hit was the first pitch from Hand. After that, he pitched around the periphery of the strike zone.
You know, you and I were talking about this before the game in a larger context, Ronnie. You've got an era in baseball where the walk is king. Every team is trying to up their on-base percentage, draw more walks, have more base runners, make fewer outs. As a consequence, a lot of hitters are taking a lot of pitches early in counts. And what's happening is, it seems, pitchers are throwing more strikes because they're conscious of the fact that hitters are taking fastballs early in counts.
You know, Gary, before the game, I always look at the starting pitchers and I see what their strikeout to walk ratio is. There was a time that 2-to-1 was really good. 3-to-1 was almost unheard of.
Murphy lines one to left. On comes Yelich to pick it off for the second out.
And now you're seeing, not Mr. Hand, he's still learning how to pitch and struggles with his control at times. But routinely, I'll see guys that have Brett Saberhagen kind of numbers, 4 and 5-to-1. So it really tells you that you're in an era where the pitchers have figured it out and are throwing some more strikes. being more aggressive.
We talk all the time about the game being one of adjustments, and that's true for individual players, but it's also true for the game itself. And as teams have looked to find ways to up their on-base percentage because they have determined that that's a big key to winning games, pitchers have adjusted accordingly.
Here's an example, real simple. 30 years ago, if you had a 2-0 count on a power hitter, you would never throw him inside. You would throw him down and away and try to get him to hit it to the big part of the ballpark. But because they cover the ball on the outside part so much better, occasionally now when you're 2-0, you come inside with a fastball. That's completely different than how I was taught.
Andrew Brown hit a long home run for the Mets' only run tonight. And he takes that back to a breaking ball for a strike. 1-1.
Well, Ronnie, you said, I mean, the best pitch Lagares had to hit, and Lagares is a ball guy that likes to go out over the plate. He took a fastball first pitch and taking all the way. He's already been up twice. He's seen the pitcher twice. He's got a beat on what he's got to throw. Go to hitting. You got a runner out there to drive in. It's nonsense.
Brad Hand in his first start of the season. He's given up just 3 hits tonight. Tying run at second and 2 out. And Brown takes the fastball away, and now it's 3-1. Got Lucas Duda, a left-hand hitter, standing on deck, but Brown represents the go-ahead run in this game.
Still, the history for a young pitcher is this. You've given up a home run to a batter in the game. You're a little hesitant of going right after him here at 3-1. So Andrew's got to make sure he gets his pitch.
3-1 from Hand, and it's inside. Ball 4. Threw him a 3-1 curveball. Tells you everything you need to know. Second walk of the night given up by Hand, and that puts the tying and go-ahead runs on base for Duda. And make no mistake, when Terry Collins made his comments last night, this is one of the guys he's talking about. Lucas Duda, who was the opening day starter in left field, was demoted, has been given an unexpected chance here in September with the injury to Ike Davis, and so far has done very, very little with it.
When asked what would he like to see from Lucas Duda, I'd like to see him hit the ball to the ballpark. That's what's Terry's quote.
This would be a good spot for him. 2 on and 2 out. Mets down 2-1 in the 6th. Lucas has struck out and fly to right tonight, just 2 for his last 24.
Lucas has just been getting under balls, getting beat a little bit long, a little bit of a long swing.
Now it's 1-0. You got to feel, if you're Lucas Duda, that Brad Hand is going to throw you a fastball away. That's the pitch you're probably going to get here with a 1-0 count.
And Duda fouls off the fastball. 1-1.
Good swing there. Maybe just a tad late.
He's not squaring it up, as they say in today's baseball parlance.
Now the 1-1, and the curveball sits high. 2-1 to Duda. Lucas for the season is hitting .156 with runners in scoring position. He's got one there now in Young with 2 out. Brown is at first. 2-1 from Hand. And he fouls off that fastball. 2-2.
Right after him.
And with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, the numbers are even more dismal.
Now this is the pitch if you're Brad Hand, if you're Lucas Duda. Got to make the pitch here if you're Hand. You don't want to go to 3-2.
2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Duda. Time is asked for. Plate umpire Mike Everett indicating that it was Coy Hill, the catcher, who asked for time. Now the 2-2. And Duda with a half cut, just able to waste away that breaking ball.
Big curveball. A good one, and gets him out in front. Just barely stays in the at bat.
You know, Lucas, before he went down, he had reduced that leg kick. And after coming back from Las Vegas now, that leg kick is as high as we've ever seen it.
Duda hits one out to right field. Back goes Stanton to the track. Back at the wall. It's out of here! Lucas Duda with a 3-run homer to give the Mets the lead. There's the big Lebowski, and the Mets go in front 4-2. Number 13 for Duda. The manager asks. The manager receives.
Well, he stayed in this at bat, fought off some tough pitches, and finally gets a hanger. Right there, and he gets it. A little towards the end, but he's so strong. And this puts the Mets out in front.
First time the Mets have had a lead since Sunday in Cleveland. So the Mets have homered twice tonight. And Duda with one that evokes a big sigh of relief for him.
Pitched around a hitter,
yes,
Andrew Brown, who was hitting 244 coming into this game.
Yep.
Decided to go lefty-lefty matchup, and it cost him.
Lutz drives one to center field, and that's in for a base hit. So Zach Lutz has the Mets' third hit in this 6th inning. And the Mets have hit 2 home runs tonight. Log on to sny.tv/Dwayne Reed to print out your coupon to get a Fresh Care flushable dispenser with the purchase of a Cottonelle 12-pack. Redeemable at any Dwayne Reed or Walgreens store. Ryan Webb is up in the Miami bullpen.
You read that brilliantly.
Do my best. Travis d'Arnaud, the batter. Mike Redmond is on his way out to the mound. So Brad Hand carried a 2-1 lead into this 6th inning. Gave up a leadoff double to Young, retired the next 2 hitters, but pitched around Brown, gave up a 3-run homer to Duda. Now a base hit to Lutz, and that'll be all for Brad Hand. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Ryan Webb makes his way in for the Marlins. 4-2 Mets in the 6th. We'll be right back. year. He gives the Mets a 4-2 lead. Red hand out, Ryan Webb in.
Well, he's been their long man all season long. He's had a pretty good season too, Ryan Webb. 72 innings pitched as a reliever, is 6th in the National League.
That started well for Brad Hand, did not finish well. He goes 5 2/3, allows 5 hits, 4 runs so far, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, a couple of home runs. Travis d'Arnaud will bat against Webb with Lutz at first and 2 down. The Miami bullpen has been very heavily worked lately. 21 innings in the last 5 games. It's a little easier with September call-ups to absorb that kind of workload. By the way, remember when we were in Cleveland and Terry Francona made very liberal use of his bullpen?
Oof.
Today, he had young Danny Salazar start again. Remember, he went 4 innings against the Mets as d'Arnaud grounds one to third. Today, Salazar went 3 2/3. 7 relief pitchers for Francona today, and they beat the White Sox 3-1.
9-hour game.
Lucas Duda gives the Mets the lead. His 13th home run of the year. A 3-run shot. And the Mets and John Neese up 4-2 as we go to the 7th at Citi Field. Drive around the majors. We mentioned the Indians win over the White Sox. That gets them within a game of Tampa Bay for the second wild card in the American League. Nationals lead the Phillies 3-1. That game is now in the 5th, and it's now 4-1. And the Pirates with those 3 straight home runs to tie up the Cubs. They're 3-3 in the 6th. Giancarlo Stanton hit a bullet of a home run to deep left center in the 2nd inning. His 21st of the year, and he hits another rocket to left. Back goes Young near the wall. It's out of here. Stanton does it again. Another laser beam of a home run. His 2nd of the night, his 22nd of the year to cut the Met lead to 4-3.
An 0-2 curveball.
Muy fuerte. Well, right down the middle, down, and that's just, geez, a nice little 2-iron. Big 2-iron, excuse me.
So John Neese now with a 1-run lead as he faces Justin Rucciano. And throws a changeup low and away. Stanton having that kind of night.
You know, he's got the barrel of the bat right there.
seen some home runs here the last 5 days that I just have not seen.
Scott Atchison, the right-hander, Pedro Feliciano, the left-hander, up in the Mets bullpen. Well, we've been watching games in this ballpark for 5 years. We have never seen a week like this as far as the long ball is concerned in this ballpark.
No question. Checking to make sure Mark Reynolds wasn't on either of these teams.
Or Troy Tulowitzki. Those are the guys who were able to make this ballpark look small. Ninth time in Stanton's career he's hit 2 home runs in a game, the 3rd time this year. And after Duda's 3-run bomb, Stanton gets the Marlins 1 run back. 3-2 now to Ruggiano with Ed Lucas on deck. He's about to throw his 100th pitch of the night. A 3-2 curve, and Ruggiano just got a piece of it to stay in the at-bat. Well, the strike to ball ratio is extraordinary when you consider how many curveballs Nice has thrown tonight. Strike 3 call, got him looking. 7 strikeouts for John Nice, 1 out in the 7th.
Fastball in after all those curves. Set him up for the fastball in. Locates.
So 1 out now. Ed Lucas, who doubled and scored in the 5th inning.
I like this game that Mike Everett's calling behind the plate, Ronnie. Got good balls and strikes. Calls the inside corner for the pitcher.
You don't always get that from most umpires.
Yep.
We were talking last inning about pitchers adjusting to the trend among hitters to try and work deep counts and draw walks. An interesting number for you. Ground ball past the mound, and that'll sneak up the middle, a base hit for Lucas. And the Marlins have the tying runs on base. The percentage of first pitch strikes in Major League Baseball has gone up each of the last 5 years. 2009 it was 58.2%. This year it's 60.4%. So it's gone up incrementally now 5 straight years.
Wow.
And that kind of illustrates what we're talking about. Pitchers adjusting to the fact that more and more hitters are not being aggressive early in the count.
I would like to get a breakdown of that. It'd be nice to get a breakdown of what the pitch was. Well, how many fastballs? I bet you predominantly they're fastballs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, you know,
that's going to be all for John Nice, and he is not happy about that. You saw him jawing at nobody in particular, unhappy to see Terry Collins on his way out. John's got a 4-3 lead, the tying run on base, and he'll take his exit. One word says it all. Scott Atchison will be coming in for New York. Nice in line for his 7th win of the year. We'll be right back. Scott Atchison in to face Donovan Solano, who swings at the first one and flies one out to right center. Lagares takes charge. That's the second out of the inning, and holding at first is Ed Lucas. So Atchison comes in, throws one pitch, and gets the second out.
Well, you see the numbers there. The one that inherited runners is going to want that to be better here with Lucas, the tying run on first base. That was interesting on that fly ball to right center. Brown was calling for it. Lagares called him off of it because of his better arm.
John Neese has been stalking around that dugout ever since Terry Collins took him out of the game. He is one unhappy camper.
Well, you know, any pitcher worth his weight, after your team gives you a lead, you want to go out there and put a 0, and that's why he's upset.
That was his first reaction after walking in the dugout.
I think all these pitchers would love to have pitched back in the 80s before all these pitch counts.
I was saying in the break, though, you know, moving forward, you know, when you look at Zach Wheeler, you look at Matt Harvey, and you look also at Jonathan Neese, they're big three when you think about it. Around that 100 pitch mark is their level.
And you can throw Dylan G into that hopper too.
That's right.
Call strike to Coy Hill, and it's 1-2.
And what Dylan has done better, well, not even better, great, is that he's gotten deeper into the game with his 90 to 100 pitches.
Vic Black up alongside Feliciano. Chris Coughlin's on deck to pinch hit if Hill keeps the inning going. 1-2. Got him with a breaking ball. So Atchison comes in, makes quick work of Solano and Hill to keep the Mets in front. Giancarlo Stanton's second home run of the game gets the Marlins closer. But the Mets lead at 4-3 at the 7th inning stretch. Time Warner Cable. Watch more sports on more devices in the house than anyone else. Call 1-800-TW-CABLE. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy sports better. By Mazda. If it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. And by People's United Bank. Know-how that's helped customers succeed for 170 years. That's People's United Bank, what know-how can do. Member FDIC. On to the bottom of the 7th inning at Citi Field. The Mets with a 4-3 lead. For their first win on this homestand. Ruben Tejada leads off against Ryan Webb, who came in to get the final out of the 6th inning. Well, it's been a big night for the Zombies on Friday the 13th. Don't get it? I mean, there was no bigger fan of the original Night of the Living Dead than me.
Yeah.
But you know, that was in black and white.
It was really kind of a campy.
It was great.
Yeah. But yes, it was campy.
Right, but that's what made it fun.
It was a low budget film, obviously.
Very low budget.
Yes.
One big hop for Polanco. And Tejada retired, one away.
In those days, they had some interesting movies, right? The Eraserhead, do you remember seeing that?
Now Mike Baxter will be the pinch hitter. Batting for Scott Atchison, who did a nice job getting his 2 batters. Baxter got a start in right field yesterday when 1 for 4. He's been far more effective as a pinch hitter than he has been in any other role. And now up to pinch hit against Webb here in the 7th. Amazing how much more aggressive he is as a pinch hitter. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. Ball and strike to Baxter with Eric Young on deck. Well, the Pirates just went in front of the Cubs 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th.
I think that place is rocking right now in Pittsburgh.
They've been selling out every home game over the last month.
It's wonderful.
Pirates and Cardinals tied for the lead in the Central. Cardinals are no score with the Mariners in the 4th. Baxter lays off. 2-2. In the American League West, showdown between the A's and the Rangers. The A's are 3.5 games up on the slumping Rangers. It's Oakland 4, Texas 2 in the 3rd. Cespedes and Donaldson with home runs.
What a year he's had, huh, Donaldson? Just got Josh Reddick back. Cespedes has been great. I mean, they just score runs in bushels.
All that good young pitching. A.J. Griffin won his 14th last night, pitched a gem. A's have taken charge much as they did last year.
Unbelievable. Well, the Angels have made a run, huh? I mean, they know they're out of it, but
they've played their best baseball.
Yeah.
Three and 2 to Baxter with 1 out and nobody on. And Mike takes strike 3 called. Webb got the inside corner for his first strikeout. 2 out in the inning.
Kind of bends the start. Yeah, it got the corner. Not going to fool the ump. Baxter on top of the plate, right on the corner. Good pitch.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Eric Young, who got the Mets started in the 6th inning with a double to left center. Andrew Brown drew a 2-out walk. Lucas Duda hit a 3-run homer, and that put the Mets in front. Meanwhile, in the red-hot American League wildcard race, Tampa Bay clinging to the lead. They're up 2-0 on Minnesota in the 4th behind Chris Archer. Young lifts one to left. In comes Yelich. And that retires the side. So Webb pitches a 1-2-3 7th. We move on to the 8th with the Mets protecting a 1-run lead. Brings SpongeBob. The first 15,000 fans attending the 4:10 single admission doubleheader against the Marlins will receive a Mets wristband. Call 718-507-TIXX or visit Mets.com now for your tickets. Let's answer our AT&T trivia question. Most RBIs by a Marlins player. I think it's Mike Lowell. No?
Okay.
Preston Wilson. You were correct.
Ronnie.
Nice job, Ronnie. Preston Wilson, who was here broadcasting the game for the Marlins TV network alongside Tommy Hutton. And a beautiful bow tie, I might add.
Sharp dresser, I'll tell you that. Puts us to shame. Well, maybe not you guys, me.
Nick Black will try and protect the lead in the 8th inning for New York.
You see his numbers so far. Left-handed hitters, surprisingly, he has owned. It's the right-handers that have a couple of hits, a few hits against Vic.
He got touched up in that 3rd game of that series. Gave up 2 runs his last time out. Did he pitch yesterday?
No.
Okay.
It was the Wednesday game. He'll face Chris Coghlan pinch hitting to lead off in the 8th inning. Coghlan 6 for 19 as a pinch hitter this year for the Marlins, former National League Rookie of the Year. The captain is in attendance. There's a call strike, 0-1. It'll be Coghlan, then Adeiny Echeverria and Placido Polanco for the Marlins in the 8th. Miami 3 runs, 6 hits. The Mets 4 runs, 5 hits. And Black quickly ahead 0-2. John Neese went 6 1/3, allowed 3 runs, 6 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. 2 Giancarlo Stanton home runs. Scott Atchison retired his 2 batters. And now it's on Black in the 8th. 0-2. Lined over short, a base hit for Coghlan. He gives up an 0-2 base hit with a breaking ball.
Listen, it's not that easy, but when you work as hard as Black did to get ahead in that count, you got to bounce that breaking ball.
So the tying run aboard, and you would expect them to bunt with Echeverria. He's hitting .227. Feliciano and Hawkins up in the Mets bullpen. It is very unusual to see Hawkins up in the 8th these days. He has been the closer for the Mets since Bobby Parnell went down. Echeverria stabbing at it. Did he not offer? They check it first finally, and no, he did not.
Come on. Are we watching, or what's going on here?
How is that not a strike?
That's a strike.
That's a terrible call. The first base umpire, Dan Bellino, made the call, and, well, it's hard to believe he saw it that way. Not very good bunting style by Echeverria, 1-1.
Well, I tell you, if you're hitting .220, you got to be able to bunt.
Placido Polanco on deck. Two balls and a strike.
Well, Black has got a good arm, Ronnie. He throws hard.
Yep.
He's just got to hone his pitches. He's got a decent breaking ball, but like you said, he has a tendency to make a fat pitch here and there. But I like his potential, his upside.
Now it's 2-1, still bunting, and Echeverria fouls that one off.
Boy, Echeverria has got to go. Now, don't go in the cage and take 200 swings. Go in the cage and do 200 bunts.
He's got 4 sacrifices this year, but not looking particularly good against the offerings of Black. So what does Mike Redmond do here? Does he leave the bunt on?
After watching the first bunt, I would have taken it off.
Take it off. You can't have him bunt with 2 strikes.
Keep Coghlan close too. He can steal a base for you.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So he went to swinging on 2-2. Black gets him for the first out of the inning. 1 out and 1 on.
Well, I think what's interesting about Black, guys, is he throws his fastball right back by Echeverria. The trend on all bullpens all over baseball is that every guy who comes in is throwing 95 plus, and Black gives you that.
There's Polanco, is 0 for 3. Big moment just occurred in Toronto tonight. Chris Davis just hit his 50th home run of the year, and it gave the Orioles a lead 4-3 in the 8th inning over the Blue Jays. So congratulations to Chris Davis. It's a harder feat than it was a few years ago. Dan Jennings, the lefty. Chad Qualls, the righty, up in the Marlins bullpen. Fly ball right center, and Lagares back in the gap. That's about as much as Polanco has to the opposite field. Hustling back to first is Coghlan, 2 out. So 2 away. Let's check in with the studio. Kareth Burke for a game break presented by Nissan. Here's Christian Yelich with 2 out and a runner at first, and Terry Collins on his way out to the mound with a left-hand hitter coming up. He's got the lefty Feliciano ready in the bullpen, and he'll make the call here. So Perpetual Pedro will come in to try and hold on to a 1-run lead in the 8th as Black makes his exit. 4-3 Mets. We'll be right back to Citi Field. In to face Christian Yelich with the tying run at first, and he gets the first pitch slider over for a strike.
Nice slider there. You see his numbers against the left-handed hitters. That's all you care about on that graphic there. 231.
Yelich 0 for 3 tonight. Ball and a strike to Yelich. Yesterday, Feliciano came in to face Adam LaRoche leading off the 7th, and LaRoche hit a long double off the fence in right center. Giancarlo Stanton on deck. Feliciano would love to get him to lead off the 9th. 3 breaking balls in a row, and it's 2-1 to Yelich.
Yelich has some sneaky power to left center field.
Well, they got him way over there shaded.
Yep.
I mean, Eric Young's practically in the bleachers down there, down that left field line.
2-1 from Feliciano, and the slider rolled over to the right side. Murphy's got it. Side retired. Feliciano gets his man. That sends us to the bottom of the 8th. Mets looking for some insurance, leading 4-3. go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Dan Jennings will take over the pitching.
Well, he's been great on the road this season. See that ERA 4.04. He's got a great arm. His ERA on the road is in the 3s.
He's actually been more effective against right-hand hitters than he has against lefties. Juan Lagares will lead off for the Mets in the home 8th. Lagares 0 for 3 tonight, just 2 for his last 21. Lagares, Murphy, and Brown for the Mets in the 8th. And a fastball from Jennings for a strike. Ryan Webb faced 4 batters in relief for Miami and retired them all. After Brad Hand went the first 5 2/3.
I mean, you go into every inning trying to score runs, but you do everything you can to try to put 1 run on the board here before Stanton leads off in a 1-run game in the 9th.
You know, it was terrific for Feliciano to get Yelich out to end that inning. But I would have been fascinated had Yelich gotten on. 1-run game. Say it's 1st and 2nd, 2 out. Stanton coming up. If you were Terry Collins with Justin Ruggiano hitting behind him, would you have walked him? Nice backhand play by Solano, and he throws out Lagares by a stride, 1 away.
Would I have walked him, or would Terry have walked him?
Well, let's go both.
Okay. Well, Terry would not have walked him because he hasn't shown that he would ever do that in the past. So I think his record shows he wouldn't have done it. Would I have done it? Yes. That's how dangerous he is.
Well, it's also, you know, a 250 hitter. It's not like you're facing a 300 hitter, or Barry Bonds that hits 300 too. So
if you have a really accurate pitcher on the mound, then yeah, throw the ball on the inside off the plate. If he's going to hit it, he's going to hit it foul.
Notice how Ronnie said inside, not away, where you can extend his arms and knock it into the next county.
If he were going to face Stanton in that inning, if Yelich had gone on, he would have had to bring in Hawkins.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And the interesting thing there is Hawkins' strength is away. And the other piece is that Hawkins then would be asked to get a 4-out save, which he's not been asked to do before. I'm sure all those things were things Terry was thinking about. It was a good breaking ball by Jennings, 1 and 2 to Murphy. Murphy is 1 for 3 tonight. Flared a single to left in the 4th, and then a bullet to left that was caught in the 6th. That's called things evening out.
Hitters never think they even out.
The pitchers?
Absolutely. Right in the same boat.
And he chases one in the dirt. Hill makes the toss. Strikeout for Jennings for the 2nd out of the inning. Geico Sports Night, the only show that's only New York sports. Tonight we'll take a look at the Giants, the latest on the Jets quarterback situation, and all the baseball as well on Geico Sports Night tonight after the game.
To take this another step, Gary, the biggest play in this game was Brad Hand deciding to throw a 3-1 breaking ball to Andrew Brown, almost a pitch around to face Lucas Duda in the lefty-lefty matchup. Proved costly.
Well, now the former University of Nebraska teammates Jennings and Brown go head-to-head. Brown was a year ahead of Jennings with the Cornhuskers. He takes one in the dirt, 1-1. Brown got the Mets on the board in the 2nd inning with his 7th home run of the year, hit into the 2nd deck in left field. This is their first matchup in the big leagues. We see the other day we saw Justin Turner get a big double against Vinny Pistano, his college teammate at Cal State Fullerton. 2-1 from Jennings, and Brown takes it in the dirt, 3-1. You are a pitcher who's facing a guy who was a big star in college. You're going to be a little more trepidatious, even though, you know, he hasn't had the big big league credentials?
It's interesting because you probably saw him do most of his great work.
Right. Well, he walked him. So Jennings ends up walking Brown. Third time that Andrew's been aboard tonight.
Well, if it had been me, it would have been a Yale hitter, so it would have been not that big of a deal.
Probably the best hitter on that team anyway. Chris Hatcher is up in the bullpen for the Marlins. Well, now Lucas Duda, who has the biggest hit in this game. Mets were down 2-1 as they came to bat in the bottom of the 6th. 2 out and 2 on. Duda worked the count to 2-2, fouled one off, and then got one that he could hit into the Mo zone in right field for a 3-run homer.
Well, this is the home run here, the 3-run shot. And right now it's holding up. He had a lot of pitches in that at bat, fought off some tough ones, finally got a hanger. Number 13 for Lucas.
Lucas's first home run this season back in April was a 2-run homer. His next 11 home runs were all solos. And now number 13, his first 3-run homer of the year. Hit the home run off the left-hander Brad Hand, now facing another lefty in Dan Jennings. And he tries to hold the swing, and he went around. Trip Gibson, the rookie third base umpire, with the call.
It was a tough one. Let's see.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Hey, September, 4th and 5th place team. Swing the bats. I can just hear Frank Poling.
The late Frank Poling. And Duda went around on that one clearly for strike 3. So a couple of strikeouts for Jennings in the inning. Now LaTroy Hawkins will come in and try and save it for New York. He'll have to face Giancarlo Stanton leading off in the 9th in a 1-run game. All right, guys, changes for the Mets as we go to the 9th. Matt Den Decker comes in to play center field. He'll bat 9th. Juan Lagares moves over to right, and LaTroy Hawkins will bid for the save.
Well, see his numbers going for his 97th save of his career for LaTroy Hawkins.
Got his 8th save of the season on Sunday in Cleveland.
I mean, I don't
Got
think
an inning of work as well on Wednesday night.
Sorry, Gary. I don't think it gets any tougher than this, right? 1-run lead, Stanton up hot in this game.
Well, Stanton's hit a pair tonight. Neither one has taken very long to leave the ballpark. One to left center and one to straightaway left. 22 home runs on the year. It'll be Stanton, then Ruggiano and Lucas, 3 right-hand batters against Hawkins, due up in the 9th. And a fastball in for a strike.
Right after him.
Stanton tonight has showed off the kind of power that makes everybody in baseball drool about this 23-year-old. And Hawkins with a couple of fastballs quickly ahead 0-2.
Caught him looking for the old bender.
Well placed fastball right on that inside corner, framed nicely from Darno.
So you got the experienced veteran out here.
Just a show me pitch.
Stanton 1 hit in 2 career at bats against Hawkins.
Does he come back inside? Look at Hawkins behind the mound, really thinking about what his next pitch is going to be. Young catcher, what's he want?
Slide ball.
He was well off the plate. 1-2. Stanton wasn't going to bite. 2-2.
Nice try here, Ronnie. It's just no intention of throwing a strike. Just seeing if Stanton's going to bite.
And the pitch here, are you brave enough, is the fastball in.
Yep. There it is.
Got him.
LaTroy Hawkins going right after Giancarlo Stanton and gets a huge out to start the 9th.
Boy, that was just beautiful pitching by the veteran Hawkins. 2 fastballs, the second one inside on the corner, a couple of sliders just to tease him, and back upstairs.
No fear.
So 2 home runs tonight for Stanton, but Hawkins gets him out in the big spot to start the 9th. And now it's Justin Ruggiano, who's 0 for 3, struck out twice tonight. And he lifts one down the right side. That'll go foul out of play.
Also, that pitch that he struck out Stanton on was his quick pitch fastball, so maybe upset the timing a little of Stanton.
Shame on him if it got fooled by an old trick like that. Just threw it by him.
Sometimes he stops, sometimes he doesn't. Ball strike to Ruggiano.
It's a 5-pitch sequence right there, Ronnie, and 3 were fastballs. Got ahead with the fastball, 2 sliders to waste to see if he'd fish, and then got him with the fastball. That's pitching.
Ruggiano is 2 for 2 against Hawkins. And he lifts this one to deep center field. Back goes Den Decker onto the warning track and has enough room to put it away. Ballpark just large enough. 2 out. So now the Marlins are down to their final out. Ed Lucas is due up, but we're going to get a pinch hitter. Looks like Greg Dobbs. Nope. It's going to be Jake Marisnick.
A little more power.
Excuse me, Logan Morrison.
Yep, more power, more pop.
So Morrison, who's been playing most of the first base for the Marlins, will be the pinch hitter.
Didn't Morrison just recently hit a tape measure shot?
Like a 475.
Yeah. It was the longest home run in the history, short though it may be, of Marlins Park. Longer than any that Stanton has hit, which is the remarkable part of that. So it's Morrison to pinch hit. 2 out and nobody on. 4-3 New York, 9th inning. Hawkins misses low and in for ball 1. Morrison keeps it going. Donovan Solano would be next. A little extra heat on that fastball. 1-1.
94 miles an hour from LaTroy. By him.
And Morrison went around. 1-2.
I did not think he swung, but you know what? Smith and Walensky's calling.
Everett, the home plate umpire, called it himself, and now the Marlins are down to their final strike. Got a piece of that fastball to stay in.
Boy, that was a good swing on that pitch from Morrison. Too good, I think. Too good of a pitch.
Hawkins ahead 1-2. Foul.
Backdoor slider there. Interesting. The pitch that really fooled Morrison in this at bat was the fastball in. Tied him up.
Again, the 1-2.
Too high. 2-2 to Morrison. Hawkins bidding for his 9th save of the year. Mets took the lead in the 6th on Lucas Duda's home run. John Neese in line for the win. Hawkins trying to make it stand up. Two.
Curveball bounced slowly. Hawkins got him, and the ball game is over. LaTroy Hawkins with a 1-2-3 ninth calmly makes the final play on Morrison's ground ball, and the Mets snap a 4-game losing streak. Duda with the big shot, a 3-run homer. John Neese gets his 7th win, and the Mets win it 4-3.
Well, a game where Jonathan didn't want to leave the ball game was taken out by after 6 1/3, give up 3 runs. The bullpen was solid today. Atchison, Black, Feliciano, Hawkins, Duda, of course. The big blow, the 3-run shot, his 13th. That was in the bottom of the 6th to give the Mets a 4-2 lead, they'd hang on and win the ball game.
What did Terry Collins say before the game? He wanted his young players to start producing. Andrew Brown with a home run and 2 walks. Lucas Duda with a 3-run home run. Zach Lutz with a walk and a hit.
Manager asks, manager receives. Tom Warner's cable game summary. John Neese evens his record at 7-7 despite 2 Giancarlo Stanton home runs. Andrew Brown with a long home run into the second deck, and Duda a 3-run shot to give the Mets the lead for good as the Mets win it 4-3. For every Mets win, the Mets Foundation is proud to contribute $2,500 to the Cats Women's Hospital and the Cats Institute for Women's Health. For more information, visit northshorelij.com/KIWH. This win brings the total contribution so far this season to $162,500. Mets win it tonight 4-3 over the Marlins to take the opener of this 4-game series. We'll come back with more from Citi Field in just a moment.